Hello, Dr. Sweke here, and welcome to today's lesson. In today's lesson, we are learning all about second grade readiness skills. Second grade readiness skills are the sets of skills that our elementary learner needs to have mastered or needs to have proficiency in by the end of their first grade year. Now, second grade readiness skills are necessary as these skills equip, prepare, and enable our second graders to have a smooth year in second grade. I'll be sharing several of these second grade readiness skills, but grouped together into separate subject areas. Skill sets number 1, social skills. Social skills are the sets of skills that are necessary and beneficial as they help prepare and equip our second grader as they ensure that our elementary learner is socially, mentally, and emotionally equipped to function successfully and have a smooth year in second grade. These social skills include the ability to work independently. By the end of first grade, our elementary learner should be proficient and able to work independently, complete an assigned task on their own, and function independently in carrying out assigned tasks and functions outside of supervision from the teacher or even supervision from parents or adults. These social skills also include being able to interact successfully with their peers, classmates, and friends while working in groups, teams, or in any collaborative task. By the end of first grade, in readiness for second grade, our elementary learners should be able to function collaboratively with others, should be able to interact successfully with their peers and friends, should be able to share, communicate effectively with other students while respecting their feelings, opinions, decisions, and ideas. Lastly, these social skills also include being able to sit, function, and maintain the stamina and focus needed to complete an assigned task. By the end of first grade in readiness for second grade, our elementary learners should have built stamina to where they are able to sustain the focus, attention, and time required to complete an assigned task, to sit on the rug, or to work on a project for longer increments of time, upwards of 30 to 45 minutes, or a full period. Skill sets number 2, reading and comprehension skills. Reading and comprehension skills are the sets of skills that are necessary for our elementary learner to have strengthened and acquired by the end of their first grade year so that they are ready and equipped to continue building on the reading strategies that they have mastered and extend it to include strategies required or that would be acquired in second grade. Now, it is necessary and important that our first grader ends their first grade year having benchmarked on the required first grade reading level benchmark. These reading and comprehension skills include being able to identify long and short vowels and the vowel sounds. By the end of first grade, in readiness for second grade, our elementary learner should have mastered long vowel sounds, short vowel sounds, and other associative sounds, including digraphs, glued sounds, and blends that function in tandem with the vowels. Other reading and comprehension skills include being able to read a story and recall and retell events from the story in sequence of either first, next, and last, or beginning, middle, and end, and with accurate details. By the end of first grade, our elementary learners should be able to read either a fiction or a non-fiction text and show comprehension of the text read by accurately regurgitating and recalling facts, details, and information from the text by retelling these facts in sequence. Other reading and comprehension skills include being able to both ask and answer appropriate questions about a text and answer questions about the text. By the end of first grade, our elementary learners should be proficient in their ability to appropriately ask questions and respond to these questions by being able to respond to the WH question prompts. These question prompts include who, what, where, when, which, why, and how. Additional reading and comprehension skills include being able to accurately identify the story elements of a fiction text. By the end of first grade, our elementary learners should be able to identify the characters in a story, the setting in the story, should be able to tell the problem or the conflict, and should be able to tell the solution or the resolution to the conflict. In readiness for second grade, our elementary learners should be able to read grade level fiction and non-fiction texts independently while sustaining the stamina required to independently read these texts for extended periods and at least for 30 minutes or more. Lastly, in readiness for second grade, our elementary learners should be able to read grade level text and determine the point of view that the story or text is being narrated in. By the end of first grade, in readiness for second grade, our elementary learners should be able to tell if an assigned text is being narrated in first person or third person. Second grade readiness skill sets number 3, writing skills. Writing skills are the sets of skills that are necessary for a first grader to have mastered by the end of first grade so that they are able to successfully add on to what they have accumulated in first grade as they strive to attain the second grade writing benchmark level. These writing skills include both being able to write independently about a single topic and being able to work with a partner or work in a group to write on a single topic. By the end of first grade, our elementary learners should be able to think of an idea, develop that idea, and then write about the idea or topic in sequence or using a method that clearly conveys their thought process or the order of their writing to a reader. Other writing skills include being able to write with the appropriate sentence structure and the right punctuation for the assignment. By the end of first grade, our elementary learner should be able to tell a question from a statement, should be able to accurately write questions, should be able to accurately write statements while using the appropriate punctuation mark. These punctuation marks could be a period, a question mark, an exclamation mark, comma, and quotation marks. Lastly, in readiness for second grade, our first grader, an elementary learner, should have mastered left to right and up and down writing progression on a writing page, while being able to write in complete sentences and structure these sentences in paragraphs on a page. Second grade readiness skill sets. Number 4, math skills. By the end of first grade, our elementary learner should have mastered numbers 1 to 120 and should be able to read, identify, and count from numbers 1 to 120. These math readiness skills also include being able to add and subtract numbers up to 20. By the end of first grade, our elementary learner should be able to independently add up numbers or subtract numbers within 20 accurately while using several strategies, including mental math, counters, 10 frame, drawing pictures, and using their fingers. These math skills also include being able to understand basic rules of addition and subtraction, including commutative property and associative properties. By the end of first grade, in readiness for second grade, our elementary learners should also be able to solve word problems up to 2-digit numbers. Additional math readiness skills also include being able to understand place value numbers in the tens and in the ones place, being able to tell time to the half hour and to the hour on an analog clock, being able to measure objects by length, and sort or arrange them from the smallest to the biggest, being able to classify and group objects by shape, size, and color, and lastly, being able to graph data up to 3 categories while being able to organize these graph data. Second grade readiness skill sets. Number 5, social studies skills. Social studies skills are the sets of skills that are necessary for a first grader to have mastered by the end of their first grade year so that they're ready in second grade to acquire additional social studies skills. These skills include being able to know the country, state, city, and town they live in as they accurately tell their address. By the end of first grade, our elementary learners should be able to identify themselves as citizens of a country, citizens of a state, a town, while being able to accurately give their address as they describe basic features of where they live. These skills also include being able to understand basic math skills as they identify cardinal points of north, south, east, and west, and being able to identify map symbols and effectively use a map key. These skills also include being able to identify major holidays and basic celebrations like Independence Day, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas, or other religious and cultural and national holidays that are celebrated in their country, state, city, or town where they live. These skills also include being able to recognize and identify major landforms such as mountains, rivers, oceans, and hills, basic landforms. And lastly, being able to identify historical buildings, monuments, and landmarks from the country, city, town, state, or just neighborhood or community where they live. Second grade readiness skill sets. Number 6, science skills. Science skills are the sets of skills that are necessary for our elementary learner and our first grader to have mastered by the end of their first grade year so that they're definitely ready for second grade. These science skills include the ability to recognize their 5 senses and how they use their 5 senses to connect to the world around them, being able to identify simple states of matter, of solid, liquid, and gas, to have a simple and basic understanding of the solar system. By the end of first grade, our elementary learners should be able to identify the sun, the moon, and the planets that are in the solar system. And lastly, these science skills also include being able to ask and answer questions about an experiment, especially after making a prediction or a hypothesis about the experiment. Again, these sets of skills are second grade readiness skills that are necessary for our elementary learner to have mastered by the end of their first grade year so that they're equipped for a successful year of learning in second grade. To help us, I have created a list of these second grade readiness skills by subject to serve as a checklist and as a guide. Please visit my website to download a free copy of this checklist. Thank you for learning with Dr. Swika today. See you in the next lesson.